We have IT systems, we have controls, but at the end of the day, we are working with people. People make the main difference in companies, and when especially it comes to customer service and winning the hearts of customers, people only can do that.
At Singer, from the inception that we have been 145 years history, having a history of that level, and we want employees to love to come and work here, have that passion for them to come and contribute. So in curating such environment, our main purpose is to define why are they here? Why am I working for Singer? So that's a sort of culture, organization we want to create so that there's a purpose for people to come and work. When you have a purpose for employees to come and contribute, and they are, the pride that they bring in makes a big difference to the customer. So the customer, our purpose is to enrich the lives of Sri Lankans. That we have been doing it for some time, but we want to continue to become the market leader in enriching the lives of Sri Lankans. So our talent strategy is sort of made in such way where we ensure that, again, people who are working, they have the pride to work here, but it's a place that where people love to stay but able to leave. So that's the philosophy that we follow.
We have realized is like we have IT systems, we have controls, but at the end of the day, we are working with people. And people make the main difference in companies. And when especially it comes to customer service and winning the hearts of customers, people only can do that. So if we work with people closely, and if we share the profits, the benefits, everything with the teams, and if the team knows that they are being looked after in good times, at bad times, and when we create happy employees, for sure they will go and create happy customers. So we take this as a main criteria to keep our staff, the people, our teams happy. That is the main difference between Singer and the other competition in the market.
The current economic situation that we see, most of the talent moving away. It's not because of the organization, it's because of the situation that's in the country per se. But we encourage people to build their career, advance, learn, grow within the organization. So learning and growth is becoming it's a priority for all employees. It's because they know we are working on merit. So when you have employees who believes that their advancement is through merit, people would like to stay. But then nevertheless, we can't stop employees leaving. But then we also have good pipeline. We are more than 3,000 employees that work in this organization.
Main challenge of a large retail network is knowledge and keeping the staff up to date. As you know, the service is a very heterogeneous product. So our main issue is make it homogeneous across all channels and across all shops. So for that, main ingredients is training, development and knowledge. So what we have done is we have tried to minimize the attrition of our people, because people makes the difference. Then the second thing, make them to learn. So learning we can do two ways. Like one is like we give them the knowledge, and second way, we ask them to gather the knowledge. So this time, as the main differentiator, what we have done is we have created a program called Singer Mind Master. There's a quiz sort of a program, digitally run program among these shops, and it's a competition. All the staff were engaged in this program, and most of the questions are related to the products, customer service and our day-to-day operations. With this, most of the people, to win this competition and to be in the competition, they start learning more. This has taken us at least 2-3 steps ahead of where we were. So we think keeping our staff up to date cruise through this difficult period. Program which created like giving benefits to them, we reward the winners, consolations for the people who didn't win, but still we recognize them that for their knowledge, and we encourage them to study, like we gave them some time to learn these things, and we have our digital platform called LMS, and they can go there and they can look at the questions and the question bank, and they can enrich themselves with the knowledge. So without much of a fuss, they start learning by themselves to participate in this program. And this is one of the good programs came from our district management team, who are the frontline supervisors of these showrooms. They came with this idea, and with the help of the HR team, we ran a fantastic program, and with that the knowledge of our shop staff, has been increased, attrition of our shop staff have been reduced, and the motivation levels have gone up. Our teams, they are the front runners. They meet the real customers. We make strategies, we make plans, we come with programs, but when it's come to meeting the customers, these people go and meet, and they are the custodians of our brand when it comes to the real time. So enhancing their knowledge, enhancing their skills will always gives us an edge, and they will deliver the strategy that we have made in the office.
One of the key tenets is performance-driven culture, and that's one. And the second is capability building. Other one is creating a happy workplace. So in the performance-driven culture, we, all of us, including myself, to those people who are at various levels, they do have a line of sight. The line of sight comes from a performance management system. And in terms of the capability, we have, everyone works for to ensure that we live up to that purpose. In terms of a happy workplace, the employee engagement, how you create various activities, the touch points that the management and their teams have, even during breakdown times, whether it's hybrid or physical, we ensure that there is that connectivity remains same, and there are activities behind it to build that connectivity.
In a manufacturing setup, there are many areas that we have to deal with people. Not only people that are directly involved in manufacturing process, but there are other areas as well that come into play in a manufacturing process. Especially our subcontractors. We are dealing with hundreds of subcontractors, and they are employing people in turn. So in the manufacturing setup, we always deal with people directly as well as indirectly. So if you take the Singer's manufacturing arm, roughly about 1,000 families are dependent on the manufacturing arm of Singer. So we have to be mindful always of them, that that they are dependent on our success for their success. So as you referred to the times that we came past in the last maybe 2.5 years, this relationship meant a lot to us in terms of their welfare being questioned due to the economic downturn, starting with the pandemic also. So in the pandemic also, the manufacturing as well as the market went down. So in turn, the manufacturing sector was also affected. So in the early stages of the pandemic, we were very concerned about our employees due to the pandemic, that their families got affected. So from our side, we actually worked on a program company-wide to take care of our employees as well as their families. I think we were actually very successful in doing that, and the employees or the people who were connected with our operation, they were very appreciative.
In the last 2 years, where we had complete shutdowns, disruptions due to various resources not being available for people to come and work. And the organization, nevertheless, had done various interventions. One of the things that we have done is using technology. As we all know, Zoom is becoming, it's just another business tool now. But back in the days, Zoom was very new to us, especially in terms of those who have never sort of had video calls. So in terms of connections, and then plus the teams itself, the leadership, the management did work together on various hybrid models. So policies what we had before was basically thrown out of the door because there is work times, there is so much, I would say, structured formal policies were challenged. Of course, it was the freedom was given to employees. That's where the values come to place. So the values that we had sort of embarked on with so many people around Singer, we don't have to be behind people. So if you look at our values, we allow people to have freedom, we empower them so that they become their own manager or the leader so that they deliver what they promise. So responsibility and integrity is one of our key values. So it's not people who go behind getting things done versus I'm supposed to do my job, am I doing it? So that's the sort of activities that we sort of embarked, and that became ingrained in our people. But more in terms of employee engagement activities, we had various online sessions to various selfie radios, to quizzes, to games, online games, plus also connective, whenever you had possible, people to get together physically and share their thoughts, break the ice, have some freedom. So that was during the last 2 years, and now it's become a new normal. Many of the interventions that maybe we extensively used it, but the technology like Power BIs that people are using very much for their business day to day, because earlier we used to, even the auditors, we used to go to the field to do audits. Today, by using various tools, what we have, the analytics, back-end, the auditors per se doesn't have to go to the field. So the field force, the supervision, doesn't need to really be on the field. So we have sort of amended one of our standing operating procedures to build those measures in. So today we have even incorporated that to our field supervision as well, so that the travel time is not mandatory. So that they can use it can be at home, or it could be office, or it could be a coffee shop. We don't really mind people where they stay, but as long as they do that part of the job which is given through the tools that we have today.
As a result of the pandemic, our operations were affected. Our sales went down, and the companies found it very difficult to cope financially also. It invariably affected the people also, and which everybody as aware. Companies were looking at reducing their costs. So as a company, Singer, we never reduced their salaries. We never let people go. That was a policy decision, conscious decision that we took. So our responsibility as a management was to help them as much as possible. So of course their income also went down, but then we were always behind them to the best of our ability, and I think that also was a great thing from the company's side. As a company, Singer, we value the relationship very much, and over the years it has been proved to us that one of the main strengths of Singer is the relationship that the company has with the employees. This pandemic as well as the economic crisis, these are unprecedented. So people were really hard pressed in carrying out their normal day's work, basically. So when the company looked after them in terms of providing help in the pandemic or understanding their difficulties in this crisis situation, they actually expressly told us that they appreciate this. And I can tell you that it has given the company a lot of leeway in working out, especially in the economic crisis. we have to take certain hard decisions. There's no escaping from that. We have to cut down on certain things, certain benefits. I mean, it's a normal thing to in facing this kind of thing. So we see that relationship we inculcated and we worked on to enhance. It is giving a lot of strength to us to face this difficulty. Otherwise, people would have been really, against certain things that a company has to, management has to take at this juncture.
When you have D&I, we not only focus on gender diversity, but we look at inclusion as well. So here we have curated an environment where people have the freedom to say what they think, so that there is inclusivity comes in. So diversity is the other part which is you have various strata of people having opinions as well as contribution through the experience that they have. Also people who comes in mid-career who can also be part of the culture without waiting till a long time for them to settle in. So people, that's an environment that we aspire to have. And also the inclusion, where people have, at any level, any given level, they have the freedom to bring suggestions, bring criticism to the organization. Obviously, it has to be constructive, but still for all, there is an environment curated by the leadership within the organization.
Products we sell mainly for housewives and for families. As we say, like home is our heart. Basically, our customers, 90% decision makers are housewives. To cater to them, we feel that we should have more female staff because they understand housewives better than the male. So taking cue from that, around 50% of our staff are female. The diversity is always within our teams. It is not like nationalities, the religion. Like if you take all these, our team is a very diverse team with different skills and from different backgrounds.